So g'day, how you going? Am I looking at the camera? Anyway, in today's video we're going to talk about these banknotes. So these are Filipino banknotes and there's quite a lot of variety. And during the Second World War they actually issued a lot of emergency issue banknotes, which I really don't know much about. I have gotten some in the past. I think someone sent it to me 3 or 4 years ago. World Stacker, I believe his name. He actually got a good channel where he's in the Philippines scuba diving. Very interesting. So I hope this helps you with your Filipino coin and banknote collection. So with all due course, let's actually have a look at them. So the best thing about modern cameras is that you can rotate the image. Hi, I'm Glenn. I'm so good to meet you. And yeah, that's basically how I behave in real life. I'm not really like a boring person. I'm like, give me some. Yeah, sorry if that scared you. And sometimes I just get a bit bored with banknotes and I just want to liven things up a bit. So we have two series here. We have one's issued by the central government and one's issued by the actual provincial government's emergency issues. So we'll get the central governments out of the way. So after the Second World War, was it the First World War? No, it's the second. Oh, God, Glenn, get it through your thick head. The Philippines was running out of currency. Basically, the Philippines was a mess, just like most of the other countries that were invaded. And they actually stopped minting coins in 1944. That was the last year of issue under the US. And when they became independent in 1940, I think it's 1948, 1947. I can't remember. I'm not going to look it up. Look it up yourself. Or maybe 1949. There you go. They issued these banknotes because, they had other priorities like actually making the government function a little bit, which, read about the Philippines, it doesn't really function that much. So these ones are probably worth about $5 to $10. They're not that easy to get. I'm surprised I actually got this 5 centavos. There is a 10, a 20, and there is a 50 centavos, and they also issued a half peso. So two different same denomination, two different ways of expressing it. And they issued all the way up to 500 pesos, which is a very expensive banknote. That's quite nice. Then we have this banknote. So this was issued in 1944, series 66. So this is the lowest denomination, 1 pesos. And they issued up once again up until 500 pesos. And as you can see, it's issued by the United States of America, Commonwealth of the Philippines. I'm not too sure on the value of any of these banknotes, but I assume this is like $5, $5 to $10, but I need to look it up. And all these banknotes are the same as the ones they issued before the First World War. No, Second World War. God, I'm getting confused with my wars here. That's what Alzheimer's does to you. But they have victory imprinted on the top of it. So I assume that the banknotes issued before Japanese invasion were still legal tender and the Japanese currency became worthless. Then we have the 5 pesos. So this was issued from 1949 to 69 for about 20 years. There's 2 leaders on it. See, has Gina and Pilar. And the interesting thing about the Philippines banknotes is that one signature is the president. So if you want to collect signatures of presidents, collect Philippine banknotes. And the governor of the central bank. So that's very interesting. And on the back, this just has the newspaper. And it's quite yellow. So yellow is very good as a banknote color. So I'm not too sure on the value, probably $20 to $30. Maybe. It's 1960, so maybe it's only worth $5 or $10. Then we have the 10 pesos. So this one has Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos, so the famous dictator, and another central bank governor. Has these 3 guys, Father Burgos, Gomez, and Zamora, so 3 priests. And on the back we have, okay, yep, Urdaneta and Legacy Monument. You've got the Philippines flag. I've never heard of that monument, so I need to look that up. Or I know some of you watching my channel Filipinos. It would be interesting if you could put a link. Okay, so then we get to the actual emergency issues. So I purchased these for roughly about $2 each. So some of these will be scarce, some of them will be common. But as you can see, a lot of them are actually very poorly printed. This one is one from Sagayan. Okay, redeemable after the war. So, and if you need to zoom in, so the printing quality is not that good, but I assume that might be a date for the, yeah, I can't actually read that. It's quite nice, has a nice tropical with palm trees, it has a pine tree there, and a nice hut. So that, as you can hear, still pretty crisp, but I shouldn't actually handle these too much. And here we have another one, obviously, not surprised. And this one is from, so issued by the Cebu. So this is issued in Cebu, currency authority, by the authority of the President of the Philippines. Okay, December 29th, 1941, so after the Japanese invaded. And pretty plain, serial number. And on the back, oh, that's a nice yellow colour. Oh, that's beautiful. So, let's see if the microphone's turned off. Yeah, sometimes it just does that. Okay, then we have a 10 pesos. So if anyone actually knows the value of these, please leave a comment down below. So this one is, okay, redeem this certificate of 1942 at the face value termination of emergency. So it's a 1942 banknote. Okay, yeah. So it's got the Philippines, but a lot of them don't have. Okay, a sea province. Okay, so yeah. And we have government of the Philippines. Commonwealth government of the Philippines. 10 pesos. Okay, so this is where it was issued. Tagbilaran, Bohol. 10 pesos. Quite nice. Even for a rushed issue. And here we have a 5 pesos of the same place. So now the denomination. Oh, this got signatures on the back. The signatures probably don't really count into the actual value, because there are probably like hundreds of people signing these. But you know, the denomination, some denominations will be a lot scarcer. Okay, so then we have another 10 centavos. And as you can see, they issued all different denominations. Okay, this is issued. Where is this issued? Maybe on the back. 10 centavos. Oh, this one's one rotation. Emergency circulating note. PNB. Maybe this is a national issue. Anyway, need to look that up. And here's a 50 centavos. This one's more like on cardboard. And you turn it around. Issued by the Bahul. So this is issued in Bahul. Currency board 1942. So I think that goes with this issue here. The 5 and the 10 centavos. Then we have a 20 centavos. And the cat's getting fed. Yay! And this was issued in Negros. This is a more of a basic series, and these generally don't have security features. There's another Negros, 10 pesos. They don't have security features because of the emergency situation. So these are pretty much backyard printed issue, like the Vietnamese issued from 1946 to 51. Okay, here's a nice coloured purple one. Commonwealth Philippines, Provincial Treasurer, Mr. Quezon, and City of Buled. Maybe on the back it says. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I need to actually look up where that was actually issued because I can't really read that. Bakuled, whatever. So that's quite a nice one there. Oh, this one looks terrible. Look at Roosevelt. Oh, make him look like someone's beating his head in. So this was issued in Iloilo. Iloilo. Okay, but the printing is actually a lot better than the other ones that we saw where just the engraving was bad. And 20 pesos, quite nice, 1942. Then we have, this one's more basic. So this one, Mindanao. So Mindanao, the Japanese found it hard to actually take control of Mindanao. And basically, I think the Japanese only controlled over about 40% of the Philippines at the time. It's just too many rebel groups, and the US was readily supplying them with arms. So that's quite nice. Okay, the note is redeemable face value after the emergency and will not be devalued or discriminated against. It's got it in. Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's Tagalog or more than likely it's another language of the Philippines. Counterfeiting this note will be severely punished. So obviously this was not redeemed. Then we have, this one's pretty much uncirculated in the currency. So where was this issued? Bohol again. Yeah, quite nice. 2 signatures. Then we have a nice yellow one. So this is Cebu. And probably 1941. Yeah, 1941. God, I'm blind. And we have a 10 pesos issued Cebu as well. So there are a lot of other different varieties. And interesting, this got Roman numerals. This one's just in Arabic numerals. Weird. So anyway, that is the banknotes of the Philippines. More specifically, the emergency ones. Some of them are scarce, some are not. But you need to just do your research before when you actually purchase these. If you get them cheap, obviously don't need to do research. You do research after you actually got the banknotes. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much and have an awesome banknote and coin collecting time. Thank you and goodbye.